When you wake up in the morning, do you ever sit on the edge of the bed and think, where did all my energy go? Maybe you used to bounce out of bed, ready to take on the world, but now it takes a cup of coffee just to get moving. You're not alone. Many men in their 60s, 70s, and beyond quietly wrestle with that same feeling. That slow fading of drive, strength, and vitality that once came so naturally. I'm Dr. Sophia Hayes. For over 20 years, I've helped men just like you reclaim their energy and confidence. Not through pills or quick fixes, but through simple, natural changes that restore the body's balance. And today, I want to show you how you can keep your energy high at 60, 70, and beyond, without relying on medication. Because here's the truth. Aging doesn't have to mean slowing down. Your body still holds an incredible potential for vitality. It just needs the right conditions to thrive again. The problem is, most men are never taught how to nourish their energy from the inside out. They're told to accept fatigue as just part of getting older. But that's not the full story. In this video, I'm going to take you step by step through what really happens to your energy as you age, what's going on inside your body that makes you feel drained, and most importantly, how to rebuild that spark naturally. We'll explore simple, science-backed ways to boost stamina, restore motivation, and wake up each day feeling alive again. So if you're tired of feeling tired, stay with me. You're about to discover how to reignite your vitality, the natural way. Now, before we talk about solutions, let's take an honest look at what's really happening. Because when men tell me, "Doc, I just don't have the energy I used to," it's rarely just about sleep or diet. It's something deeper. As men enter their 50s and 60s, a quiet shift begins inside the body. The hormones that once fueled drive, strength, and passion, especially testosterone, begin to decline. The heart doesn't pump quite as efficiently. The mitochondria inside your cells, those little power generators that make energy, become less active, and your muscles slowly lose mass. Even digestion slows down, which means your body isn't absorbing nutrients as effectively as before. The result? Energy that used to flow freely now feels trapped behind layers of fatigue, stiffness, and mental fog. You might notice that you can still do things, but it takes more effort than before. You recover slower from workouts, you get tired earlier in the day, and maybe you've even lost some motivation, not just physically, but emotionally. And the truth is, this isn't your fault. Modern life makes it worse. Processed foods, long hours sitting, chronic stress, poor sleep, and environmental toxins all speed up the aging process. These factors damage your mitochondria, raise inflammation, and throw your hormones out of balance. So even if you're doing your best, your body may still be fighting an uphill battle. But here's the good news. You are not powerless. The body is remarkably adaptive. Even at 70 or 80 years old, you can rebuild strength, energy, and vitality by working with your biology instead of against it. I've seen men who felt like their best years were behind them make simple, natural changes and completely transform their energy within weeks. Understanding what's really going on is the first step. Next, I'll explain the fascinating science behind this, what's happening inside your cells and hormones, and how we can turn the energy engine back on naturally. Now, let's lift the hood and take a closer look at what's really driving your energy or draining it. Because once you understand what's happening on the inside, everything else begins to make sense. Inside each of your cells are tiny structures called mitochondria. Think of them as the batteries that power every movement, every heartbeat, and every thought. When you were younger, these mitochondria were strong, efficient, and plentiful. But as the decades pass, they start to wear out, partly from natural aging, but also from stress, poor nutrition, and environmental toxins. Fewer mitochondria mean less energy production, and that's one of the biggest reasons men in their 60s and 70s feel that deep fatigue that coffee can't fix. Another key player is testosterone, the hormone that gives you drive, confidence, and muscle strength. Testosterone levels naturally decline by about 1% each year after age 30. That might not sound like much, but by the time you reach 60 or 70, it's a major drop. Low testosterone doesn't just affect libido. It also weakens muscles, slows metabolism, and makes it harder for your body to convert food into usable energy. Then there's the role of inflammation. Chronic low-grade inflammation, often caused by processed foods, sugar, and stress, acts like rust in your system. It damages cells, slows down recovery, and interferes with hormones and blood flow. The result is a constant feeling of tiredness, even if you're technically healthy. But here's something most men don't realize. Your body wants to restore balance. When you support it with the right nutrients, movement, and rest, your mitochondria can actually grow stronger again. Your hormones can rebalance naturally. Even your brain's chemistry can shift toward focus and vitality. So no, fatigue isn't just getting older. It's your body's way of saying, help me work the way I'm meant to. And that's exactly what we'll talk about next. The simple, natural remedies and habits that can reignite that inner spark from the inside out. So now that we understand what's happening inside your body, let's talk about how to bring that spark back, naturally. Because you don't need expensive supplements or hormone shots to feel alive again. What you need is to nourish your energy systems the way nature intended. First, let's start with movement. Gentle, consistent exercise is one of the most powerful tools for longevity. I tell my patients, move every day, even if it's just a brisk walk. Walking boosts circulation, strengthens the heart, and wakes up sluggish mitochondria. But add a bit of resistance training, light weights or body weight exercises, and something remarkable happens. Your body begins to rebuild muscle, which in turn boosts testosterone and metabolism naturally. Just 2 short strength sessions per week can transform your energy. Next, let's talk about food. Real food. The best energy diet for men over 60 is built on clean proteins, colorful vegetables, healthy fats, and whole grains. Omega-3 fats from salmon, sardines, or flaxseed keep your heart strong and reduce inflammation. Leafy greens like spinach and kale help oxygenate your blood. And don't underestimate hydration. Even mild dehydration can cut your energy in half. Now there are also powerful herbs that support male vitality. Ashwagandha helps lower stress hormones and improve stamina. Ginseng has been shown to enhance physical performance and mental alertness. And maca root, a Peruvian plant, can lift energy and mood without affecting blood pressure. Sleep is another essential, and often overlooked, pillar. Deep restorative sleep is when your body repairs mitochondria and balances hormones. Aim for a consistent bedtime, avoid screens late at night, and try calming teas like chamomile or valerian root to support better rest. And finally, manage stress. Chronic stress is one of the biggest energy thieves. Simple practices like breathing exercises, meditation, or spending time in nature lower cortisol and restore your nervous system's balance. When you combine these habits, your body begins to remember what vitality feels like. The fog lifts, the drive returns, and you start to feel like yourself again, strong, clear, and alive. Now, I want to bring all of this together into something you can actually live, day by day. Because knowledge is only powerful when it turns into routine. Here's what I often suggest to my patients who come to me saying, Dr. Hayes, I just want my energy back. We start small. Mornings are your foundation. Begin the day with a tall glass of water and a few minutes of stretching. Open up the joints. Get oxygen flowing. Then, spend 10 minutes outside if you can. That early sunlight resets your body's internal clock, boosts mood, and helps regulate hormones like cortisol and testosterone. Midday is a perfect time for movement. A 20-minute walk after lunch supports digestion and keeps blood sugar steady. No more afternoon crash. If you can, do a short strength session 3 times a week, push-ups, squats, or light dumbbells. Remember, the goal isn't exhaustion, it's consistency. Evenings are about recovery. Eat a light, nourishing dinner, something rich in vegetables and lean protein. Then, give yourself time to unwind. Turn off screens an hour before bed, dim the lights, and try a calming ritual, maybe reading, journaling, or gratitude reflection. The quality of your sleep shapes the energy you wake up with tomorrow. Let me tell you about one of my patients, Mark. He's 71, a retired engineer who came to me feeling completely drained. He'd stopped golfing, stopped traveling, and said he felt like a shadow of himself. We started with the basics: walking daily, cutting out processed foods, adding a magnesium supplement, and a nightly cup of chamomile tea. Within 2 weeks, he told me, I woke up before my alarm. I haven't done that in years. 3 months later, he'd lost 15 pounds, regained muscle, and was hiking again. Mark's story isn't unique, it's proof. The body never forgets how to heal. It just needs the right rhythm, the right nourishment, and a little patience. If there's one message I want you to take away from today, it's this: your age does not define your energy. What matters most is how you care for the incredible system that is your body. Every cell inside you has the potential to renew, to strengthen, and to thrive when you give it what it truly needs. You don't need a shelf full of medications or miracle pills. You need nourishment, movement, rest, and connection. You need to honor your body instead of fighting against it. Because real energy isn't about being 20 again. It's about feeling fully alive in the body you have right now, when you walk outside and feel that surge of fresh air fill your lungs. When you finish a meal that fuels you instead of draining you. When you wake up in the morning with that quiet sense of power and clarity. That's your body thanking you for paying attention. That's the natural vitality that belongs to you. I've seen men in their 60s, 70s, and even 80s rebuild themselves completely. And every single one started the same way, with one small choice. Choosing to move, choosing to eat better, choosing to rest, choosing to believe that it's possible. Because once you take that first step, your body will meet you halfway. So, if this message spoke to you, if you're ready to take control of your energy naturally, I'd love for you to stay connected. Subscribe to this channel and join me, Dr. Sophia Hayes, as we explore more science-based, heart-centered ways to restore vitality, strength, and purpose at every age. Your best years are not behind you. They're waiting to be lived, with energy, with joy, and with confidence. It's never too late to feel alive again. Let's make that your new normal, starting today.